As the Marvel Cinematic Universe continues its expansion, one would be forgiven for having lost track of all the various movies and Disney Plus shows that feed into his overall narrative. Long gone is the luster that once drove fans to devour each new entry, especially in the wake of the complete dumpster fire that was Secret Invasion. And it is in this environment that we now welcome The Marvels, a movie that serves not only as a sequel to 2019's Captain Marvel, but as a follow-up to both WandaVision and Ms. Marvel as well. But does the new film signal a return to simpler times, or has the franchise simply grown too big for its own good? Hi guys, Michael Abaimi here, and today, I'm reviewing The Marvels. The film has Brie Larson reprising her role as Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, except this time around, she's joined by WandaVision's Monica Rambeau and Ms. Marvel herself, Kamala Khan. The three women are brought together after a freak accident causes them to switch places whenever they use their powers. Meanwhile, the Kree are trying to restore their home planet Hala by siphoning resources from others just like it. And so our three heroes must go up against their leader, Darbean, before she renders those other worlds inhospitable in the process. Heading into The Marvels, I was forced to keep my expectations about as low as they could realistically get. This was mainly due to news surrounding its release, with the film getting subjected to multiple release date changes, as it underwent extensive reshoots, amidst what was clearly a troubled production. So I had hoped that Marvel Studios would be able to salvage something worthwhile out of all of it, or at least something worth the price of admission. But as I quickly found out during the movie, hopes and wishful thinking can only get you so far. Let me just start by saying that there are definitely things to admire about The Marvels. The film is heavy on action, with more than enough set pieces peppered throughout its relatively brisk runtime. So those going into the movie solely for eye candy will get served plenty of it. It also marks the big screen debut of Ms. Marvel, and she was the clear standout amongst our trio of leads, bringing much of the same charm and charisma she was known for in her Disney Plus show. Then the film has a very playful tone that some might find endearing, especially if you enjoy the humor in the two most recent horror movies. It is just a shame that the narrative tying all of it together comes across as a jumbled mess of ideas. The story feels disjointed in the worst way possible, relying on too many flashbacks and exposition dumps to fill in crucial aspects of its plots. The worst part is a lot of the material that got relegated to those flashbacks could have made for a very compelling narrative in its own right. I can't get into specifics without getting into spoilers, but I was ultimately disappointed with how the filmmakers had chosen to present the story. A lot of it is most likely as a result of those extensive reshoots, as it becomes obvious a lot of the story must have gotten reshaped and dumbed down in an attempt to make the film appeal to the broadest demographic possible. Tonally, the film was all over the place, with some of its more heartfelt moments getting diluted by jokes and visual gags that failed to land. The film is also inconsistent with the way it depicts its heroes switching places, failing to respect its own rules in more than a few instances. The same can be said of the way it handles our heroes' power levels, as I simply found it too hard of a pill to swallow that a hero of Captain Marvel's stature couldn't single-handedly take down the villain. Then there is his jumbled up script once again, which prevents his characters from getting anywhere near enough character developments, especially the main villain, who is as one-note and one-dimensional as they come. All these things ultimately add up to make what could have been fun and decent come across as lame and cringe-inducing. The fact that The Marvels is not the worst thing to come out of the MCU recently speaks volumes about just how dire a state the entire franchise is in. The movie serves as yet another example of why the current quantity over quality approach being employed at Disney and Marvel Studios is neither favorable nor sustainable in the long run. The good news is both Bob Iger and Kevin Feige have acknowledged the need for greater quality control in all current and future projects. So hopefully this is the last of these watered down obligatory entries into the MCU that fans will have to endure going forward. I'll give the film a 5 out of 10. We'll be watching The Marvels this weekend. Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed watching this review, and to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on if you'd like to see more reviews like this in the future. And until the next one, this is Michael, signing off.